Hey, welcome to Chris Kennedy Publishing, the mid-2021 look ahead. We're going to take you through what has gone on so far in 2021 and take a look at what should be available here in the next 6 months and on into 2022 in some cases. Lots of great stuff coming, and I can't wait to show it to you, so let's get going. Except that, there we go. All right, so Chris Kennedy Publishing is about 5 years old. It does its thing typically with sci-fi, mill sci-fi, some urban fantasy. The fantasy imprint is getting bigger this year, post-apoc and some alternate history. It has 8 separate imprints, of which 6 are active right now, not currently publishing in romance and in YA. Had 8, I think it's actually up to 10 Dragon Award finalists the last few years. Typically about 15 authors published through CKP. Although if you count all of the anthologies we do, that number is about 100 a year. So publishing lots of books, lots of people. First imprint is Beyond Terra Press. This is the home of Murphy's Lawless and the Kane Riordan universe, those books that aren't published by Baen. People may recognize this, which is the art from Murphy's Lawless, kind of the whole band of brothers look there with the 6 main characters. Murphy's Lawless started in 2020. That was season 1. It had 6 novellas and a braided novel that pulled them all together and added some other stuff. You can see the 6 covers there as well as Murphy's Lawless. We're currently in the middle of season 2, which is Watch the Skies. This season, rather doing 6 novellas and then 1 braided novel, we're doing 3 novellas and then the braided novel, and then we're going to repeat that, do another 3 and another braided novel. Just got to be a lot to put together when you have 6 30,000 word novellas. The final book was over 200,000 words. It's a beast. So there's also going to be this year, hopefully, a Kane Riordan universe novella from Chuck Gannon, and there may be an anthology as well. You can see here are the 3 titles that we've had so far this season: Sundown, Desperado, and Shadows. There'll be a braided novel after this that ties them together. I'd like to tell you about season 3 that comes up next year. Unfortunately, I can't because it would spoil some of the things that are still going on this season. But I will tell you that ultimately all of this is going to tie back into what Chuck Gannon is doing with his main series in Baen. So if you're a fan of Chuck Riordan and all of those, you need to pay attention to this as well and check them out, because they're going to tie in and become very important. Next imprint is the New Mythology Press, and this is our fantasy imprint. First book we'll take a look at. This is the art from Kevin Steverson and Tyler Ackerman's book, Burnt. That is from the Balance of Kerr series. There are 2 books that are out now in the trilogy, Burnt and Accepted. The 3rd book, Released, will be released late 2021. This one is a new author. It is Scott Huggins, who you may know as the only person that has won both of Baen's short story contests. He's won both the fantasy and the sci-fi, so we're excited to have him writing for us. This is his first book, Responsibility of the Crown. It is the first book in the Endless Ocean trilogy. Looking for book 2 later in the year, and then book 3 hopefully early 2022. That is Barbara Evers, who is also a new author. That was the art from her book, Watchers of Mania. Her trilogy, The Watchers of Mania, just finished up. Watchers of Mania, Watchers in Exile, and The Watchers at War. All three books are out, and hoping for the first book of the second trilogy later on this year, but I don't have a date on it yet. That is the art to Stephen Johnson's Keep of Glass. It is the first book in Forge and Sword. Stephen had written a series of sci-fi books for me, kind of an alternate history sort of thing. He's now working on his fantasy line. Keep of Glass is out. The second book in the series, Yes?
Just out of curiosity, I don't remember ever seeing that one. Does that have a little bit of Final Fantasy influence to it? Because that makes me think Final Fantasy with that cover. That's epic looking.
It is. It's really cool. I really liked what Jake did with this. I don't. It's not quite as good on the small screen as it is when you blow it up, but it's fantasy, but it's got a little bit of well, I don't want to spoil it.
It's gorgeous though.
Yeah, I love the art on this. The story is every bit as good. It is not exactly your typical fantasy. There are some other elements that Stevens brought in that really makes this his own. A lot of times you see fantasy books where it's obvious that they're trying to copy, Tolkien or somebody that it goes down the same line. This is very different and is a neat story. I'm looking forward to reading the second and third book myself. He sent me the first book and I got started on it. He sent me the first chapter and I was like, okay, I'm in. I'll take it. And it just got better the rest of the way through. This is the art from one of our fantasy anthologies. CKP does a fantasy anthology for fantasy each year. Last year we did When Valor Must Hold. This year we did Songs of Valor. There will be another one next year. And Rob Howell, who is working on taking over as the publisher for New Mythology Press, is putting together another anthology that'll be out this year. All right. So also later on this year, a couple new things that are coming that I know a lot of people have been looking forward to. John Osborne had his Milesian Accords. That was a reluctant druid, tempered warrior. He has the next book in the next trilogy, The House Between Worlds. And he's talked about this. He's gotten hung up on a couple things. Hasn't gotten this out as quick as I would hope. But it's coming out for an October 29th release. House Between the Worlds. He kind of teased it in the fantasy anthology for fantasy, the Songs of Valor. He has a teaser for it, and it's going to be good. There's also the first full-length Necropolis book coming from Benjamin Tyler Smith called A Soulful Job. I guess you've seen some of the Necropolis stuff. I think you have one of his shorts, or I think, don't you?
Oh, I've got a collection of his shorts. It's Necropolis Collection Volume 1 that we did through Three Ravens. You can't get any funner or just, it's just good, clean adventure stories that you can't get any better than.
Right. Imagine a city of the dead that works. And everybody works, and it's a city, and life goes on after death. And Ben does just a great job with it, and it's just like you said, it's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward. Yeah, he has shorts in a number of anthologies, and then the one you did. And you finish the story and you're like, hey, I want more. Mm-hmm. So this will be fun to have a full length book and get that out. He kind of got a little behind. A baby will do that to you.
Just a
You know,
little bit. Yeah, he's behind on
he
for both of us right now.
yeah he thought he was going to sleep.
No. Oh
Yeah.
God, he is so wrong. He's learning the hard way.
Yes, he is. So that isn't going to be out quite as soon as I wanted, but hopefully we'll have it out fourth quarter. Theogony Books. This is the sci-fi imprint. If you look at this and don't get Warhammer 40K, a little bit of Star Wars, then the artist has done a bad job on this, because I mean this just screams Warhammer 40K to me, which is pretty much what Tim C. Taylor's doing with his Chimera company. I read it and I get the vibe of both Star Wars and Warhammer 40K. This is one of my favorite storylines that we have going right now. I really like reading the Chimera Company books, and I was sold on the first one, and each one's just gotten better and better after that. There are 4 out now, actually 3 out. Department 9, Smuggler Queen comes out here this week, so it'll be out by the time people see this. And then Hold the Line, the 5th book in the series, will be out in July.
Is that more mill sci-fi, or is it getting more into the political and stuff like that? I hadn't read these.
Yeah, it is. It's mill sci-fi, but there is some political in it, and they are this company is put together to try and fix the government, to the universe is collapsing. Bad things are happening. There are invaders coming in. There are bad things going on, and Chimera Company was put together to try and reboot life as we know it. And they're having to fight against the entrenched government, the bad guys that are coming in. There's a little bit of magic in there, sort of, it seems. So I don't it's not the Force or anything like that, but there's something kind of like that, and it's a great series. It's a lot of fun. It's really a fast moving. The books are fast moving. Like I said, they're some of my favorite right now.
Are they out on audio yet?
They will be out on audio soon. The first book was just finished, and we'll be getting that out here real soon.
I know that.
You may recognize this one.
Just a little bit. Oh dear God.
So that is Salvage Title Universe of Kevin Steverson, although a number of people are writing in it. The current series that he's working on with all of the folks is The Coalition. There are 7 books that have been published by 5-ish authors. Actually, more than that, because 2 of them are anthologies. So a number of people have actually written in it. You can see the books that are out, the full-length novels that are out in The Coalition. Excuse me, Hide the Lightning, Scales of Justice, Hesitation and Action by Nick Steverson, Kevin Steverson's son, and then Smuggler's Run by the big buddy and the little buddy. Lots more to come in the Salvage Title universe. You got Shedding the Past coming this year from Alex Rath, Consequences by Nick Steverson. There was an anthology that is It Takes All Kinds, but it got to be so big that it split into 2. So It Takes All Kinds twice. There's a part 1 and a part 2. And then there's Salvage Mother by Kevin Steverson and Casey Azell, her first work in the universe. So lots of good stuff coming in the Salvage Title universe. I think you've got one that you're working with Chris Woods on again too, don't you? That's a follow.
The sequel to Smuggler's Run. We got Smuggler's Quest already in work.
Yeah, so that'll be out, I suspect, toward the end of the year.
No. Oh, wait. Can I
Nope.
plug something with that? I
If
filed
it's
for a Guinness
CKP.
Book. Well, yeah, I filed
Okay.
for a Guinness Book of World Records for Smuggler's Run.
Oh, that's right. Have you heard anything?
It could take up to like 12 weeks, so it's just a matter of waiting. But I filed the request. I give all the information. Just got to wait and see. For the
Did you?
most pop culture references in a novel.
And I think you got a good shot at it. I mean,
well, there's only one other book that I can think of that might rival us, but it hasn't been filed. So,
so I guess, are you going to try harder on your second one?
I don't know that we could. I mean, that one was like, by the end of it, what was it? It was 68,000 words. By the end of it, I needed a good cigarette, man. I mean, I was just done. It was a ride.
Yeah. It's a really fun book, and people need to check it out. This is the art from David Hallquist's Guardian. He had the Warrior series in 2020, Warrior Integration Interface, and Warrior Embraced. He has started his second trilogy, which is the War Angel series. Guardian is the first one. Cherubim will be out in July, and then the third book will be out toward the end of the year. This is science fiction, future, solar system. So the Guardian mecha that's there is actually a Jupiter, forces from Jupiter. And there is war in the solar system, and there's aliens, and everybody's trying to grab a hold of the alien to get them on their side so that they can beat everybody else in the solar system. And it's did you ever see the movie where it's first person, Hardcore Henry? This book is almost like Hardcore Henry in that it is nonstop action, told first person, and you just go 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 go. You know, you said you needed a cigarette after Smuggler's Run. I felt that way after reading this, because it is go 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 go. You pause, take a breath, and then go 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 go. And it's that whole series just, you know, keeps it moving ahead as fast as you can go. This one is the art for the third. What?
No, I was like, I know that artwork. Why do I? Okay, We Dare. All right. And Jamie was telling me about it. That's a good collection coming up on this one.
Yeah. The We Dare is a series of anthologies that Jamie Ibsen and I have done. I would be lying if I didn't say that Jamie Ibsen did most of the work, because he did. The first one, and it was his idea. The first one was Augmented Humanity. The second one was The Apocalypse, the Semper Paratus. You know, are you ready for the apocalypse? And then the third one is No Man's Land, which will be coming out here shortly. And it is an anthology of strong female leads. We have some great folks that are in it. Casey Azell, Jonathan Brazy, Amy Duboff, Sarah Hoyt, Rick Partlow, Rachel Ox. I've got a story in there. It is a lot of fun, a lot of great stories. And then there will be more in this series. I don't know what we're going to dare next, but we will dare something. We dared to write them. You dare to read them.
That looks like 4HU.
No, it's actually from my series, the Theogony.
Okay.
Plug myself, and you can see part of that big one right there on Janissaries. The Theogony is going to be complete by the time everyone sees this. The Progenitor's War, which will be the 11th book in the series, launches on June 11th. Almost 7 years to the day that it started. There are 2 military fiction books, Red Tide and Occupied Seattle, and then 9 science fiction books and 3 trilogies, starting with Janissaries. I got to the end of the third book and went, "Hooray, I'm done!" And the reader said, "No, you need to write more. We need this to be like Star Wars, only better." It needs to be a trilogy of trilogies. So I took that on, put out the second trilogy, and I'm just finishing up the third. In celebration of that, the books are all getting recovered. You can see the old Janissaries and what it's going to. Little bit lighter, a little more in line with the genre, showing spaceship butt.
All right, so I got to ask, how's it feel to finish the trilogy of a trilogy?
It feels great, but sad. It's really bittersweet. I mean, as I was writing the last bit of the epilogue, it got real dusty in here. I mean, it was as dusty as it could be, and I'm like fighting through the haze to see the words, and
Will you ever go back and play in this universe again later?
I might. I have about, I think, 7 short stories in the universe, so I could write a couple more short stories and make a collection of them, which would be fun to do. Um, I will tell you, after working on it here, the last couple months finishing up the Progenitor's War, I then moved on to the next book that I was writing, and I'm having a hard time not using the main character's name in this one, because I'm so used to seeing Hobbes, Calvin Hobbes. I keep writing him in the Chuck Gannon book that I'm writing now for Murphy's Lawless. The main hero that I'm writing is a guy named Bowden, and I keep putting Calvin in there, and I'm like, no, stop that. So how is it finishing? It's hard to get out of my head now.
That's understandable.
All right. Yeah. So coming out, there is a lot coming out under the Theogony label. The Moon and Beyond, which is John Sears. The first book comes out on June 25th. This has a very Heinleinian feel. My slush reader read this and he said, "This is the best book you have ever sent me." The series is the Lunar Free State. There are 5 books written, with the 6 almost finished. This is near future science fiction, and it is really, really good. Myrmidon's Inc. series is coming from Jamie Ibsen, also as Quincy J. Allen, several other writers. A number of the short stories in this universe are in the We Dare books. So if you've read any of those, you've already started to see some of the Myrmidon's Inc. And that'll be coming third quarter of 2021. There is a new series that Kevin Eikenberry and I have been kind of working on in the shadows. We actually finished The Last Stand right at the end of last year. So we've been kind of holding on to that, waiting to get maybe the second and third books finished so that we can put them all out one after the other. This is alien invasion, and what do we do to stop them? You can see that it's coming out of the hole. There's a tank, and the tank is a lot smaller than the alien. Hijinks ensue. Book that a lot of people have really been looking forward to, including myself. I'm hoping to get the third and final book of the Psyche of War from Casey Azell, Skies to Conquer, which, if you know Casey, you know that she is a Huey pilot, and there is a Huey on the cover. This is all about Hueys in Vietnam. So, I mean, I don't think you could get a better person to write women in Hueys in Vietnam.
Nope.
Yeah. And then
that's straight up perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I loved the first 2 books in this series. And I've been waiting for this one for 2 years, 2 or 3 years now. Too long.
They've got her doing a crazy flight schedule here lately.
Yeah. And then finally, Abner Fortis, International Space Marine Corps, by Paul Piet. There, I have the full trilogy that's coming out here by the end of this year: Cherry Drop, China Mike, and Fresh Fruit and Ammo. Good fun, mill sci-fi. You're going to love it. Blood Moon Press. This is primarily the Fallen World of Christopher Woods and all of the people that have chosen to play in it, including both of us.
Yep. Well, it's fun.
There are 14 books that have been released so far. Basically, what would happen if the corporations took over the world, which isn't really a stretch. Amazon, Google, you can give them different names like Teledyne and Obsidian. They take over the world. They take over all the government, and then they decide that they're not done with corporate wars, and they decide to take over the world, and they nuke each other to do it, and the world falls. And what do? Go. A lot of fun. Started with this Fallen World. Like I said, there are 14 books that have been released so far. 2021 should see hopefully 4 toward the end of the year. Marisa Woods, Salt in the Wound. I have one that I'm going to be doing. Chris, I know, has another one that he is. And then Alex Rath has said that he's in for one as well. Hit World Press, new imprint this year. It does the Hit World, shocker, Hit World Press, of William Allen Webb and Larry Hoy. 4 books have been released already in 2021. I know that it's only May, but they've been coming out fast and furious. Trash Man, A Bullet for the Shooter, The Ferryman, Dragons of Styx, and then Shank will be out June 14th. And then back to Bill Webb for The Spider in the Third Quarter. There's also an anthology coming. The premise with this is everything you don't believe is real. So you can see that there's an orange rhino coming through the gate on the first one. There's all sorts of other things going on. Dragons. It is urban fantasy with a very militaristic bent. It's not military. It's somewhat of a Monster Hunter Inc. sort of thing. And it is really coming on strong. It has magic as well as the hidden, urban fantasy kind of stuff. It's great. And then the flagship that has kind of become CKP, Seven Seal Press and the Four Horsemen universe, now up to 62 books. It'll be probably 65 by the time that everyone sees this. Revelations, Omega War, Four Horsemen Tales. You can see all of the books there. The Guild Wars, the latest book out is The Eye of the Storm from myself and Mark Wandry. That is the main storyline. Secrets have started to be revealed. If you have been following this, it is rapidly coming to a conclusion of the Guild Wars. Don't miss out. There are quite a number of books coming out, shocker, in the series. Ian Malone and I have The Street Survivors, which will be out for Fantasy. Rob Howell has The Ravening of Wolves, middle of June. Mark and I have the anthology In the Wings. Then we'll be doing Tempest Rage, which will be close to the end of the Guild Wars, third quarter. Robert Hampson, speaker, has And Break It Not, which is another Rogel book. Follows on his first one in the 4HU. Casey Moores has Mess with the Bull, that follows his. Casey Azell and Marisa Wolf hopefully will have Ally in the third quarter, which is their third book in their Depic trilogy. So this will tie that up. Then Kevin Eikenberry has a couple more Peacemaker books coming out this year as well. So lots coming this year in the Four Horsemen universe. Like I said, we'll be tying up the Guild War and moving into what comes next, but you'll have to see what that is. So, also with Seven Seal, you need to be on the lookout for Factory Boss Games. We are putting together the first gaming project from CKP. It is produced under license from the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, and it is Rules of Engagement, which is Four Horsemen Universe RPG. It uses the latest edition of the Savage World core rules. It is going to have a lot of background information that people haven't gotten in some of the books. It'll have more info on different aliens, different technology, different mercenaries, and it's going to. There have been a lot of people that have said, "Hey, we want to know more about this alien race. Can we get more pictures?" Yes.
Is this going to be BattleTech or Mech Warrior? I mean, that looks like a BattleTech sheet. Oh my God!
It is Salvage Worlds. I don't know how close that is, having not played that, but it is going to be it. Well, John Osborne ran a group last year or 2 years ago at Fantasy. He'll be running it again this year at Fantasy, testing all the rules. So it's the people that played it last time really loved it. There were 4 playable races. Well, 2 human companies. I think there was Bethquith, and another alien race, and they had a great time killing each other off.
Well, that's kind of fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I'm looking forward to seeing it. As we're taping this, Fantasy is next in a week and a half. I'm looking forward to sitting in on this and seeing it played. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Kickstarter is coming here in a couple of weeks also, so it'll be running by the time everybody sees this. Yep, get back there. So you can see there's going to be a lot of new art, a lot of new info on some of the stuff that people have been looking forward to. I don't know how well you can see the Zool, the wolf with the rifle. I just love this picture. So looking forward to this, and that will be coming. The Kickstarter will be starting soon, and hopefully we'll get this out by the end of this year or start of 2022. And I have talked myself into oblivion. I actually raced through this a little bit faster than I had intended, but we are here at the end. I mean, who doesn't like a T-Rex with a chain gun? I mean,
Well, I've got a good question.
Okay.
So somebody wants to get published with you in CKP. What should they be sending you?
Well, they should be sending me, if I had somebody send me current military book, that's not it. We do sci-fi and fantasy primarily, a little bit of urban fantasy, and then post-APOC. They should be looking to send those. They can find me at chriskennedypublishing.com. Typically, it works better if you can find me at a con or something ahead of time to talk with me about the project. Don't take a lot of submissions just as unsolicited. Just don't really have the time. I do periodically for ones that are really, really good. But basically sign up for the mailing list on the website. And then you'll see when there are opportunities for submissions. And I think that is it for me, unless you have any additional questions from the audience.
Yeah. I had one starting to form in the back of the head. Now you asked me and I lost it.
I understand.
Hey, at least my brain's working better than the other day because
Yeah.
that shot just sucks.
It did.
Okay, publisher side of things. How in the world do you keep up with all these stories and storylines in your head with all the books? I mean, come on, 60 some titles in the 4HU. How do you keep it straight, man?
I don't sleep very much. I don't know. Well, I told my wife 2 years ago in 2019 that I was going to kind of pull back a little and slow down. I think in 2019 I released 42 books, so I was able to slow down a little bit in 2020. I only released 60.
Just a little.
Well, I went from 40 to 60, so I didn't do the slow down part very well.
Yeah, that was with a move too.
Yeah, so we're probably looking at about 60 again this year. I do read every single book that gets published by CKP. So, how do I remember it all? I don't know. I do. I guess I've got a good memory for stories. I mean, people are hardwired for storytelling, and I try and keep up with all of it. I am now to the point where in some of the bigger universes, I need help with some of the storyline from the owners of the universe. For example, Salvage Title and Fallen World. They I make sure that the owners of the universe gets a shot at looking at it first, to canon check it. That doesn't always work. Sometimes they read through it fast. Not pointing any fingers at anybody, but um, and I've caught some stuff. I don't think that too many big things have made it past me. We've got a bunch of good readers, early readers that read it too, which helps me. Because we'll get the hey, I remember that this happened, and now it looks like you're saying something else, and I'll have to go back to that one, and yeah. There have been a few things that have slipped by that hopefully we've caught before they made it out to the general public. Um,
Well, that's what you got early readers for too.
That's yeah, and I am far and away not perfect. I don't ever claim to be perfect, but I try hard. So hopefully that gets me some sort of bonus point.
I gotta say, man, everything that you're doing with all the books you're putting out and you're writing full time, dude, that's impressive. I mean,
Thanks.
I understand on my side, just with what little bit I'm doing.
Yes,
I understand.
yes, you do. You've been working hard here recently, putting out a bunch.
Stupid dogs. Yeah, but I mean, dude, it's absolutely impressive what you've done. And,
thanks, man.
To keep all that straight in your head is just crazy. I read really slow, and I have a tendency to absorb audio a lot better than just reading. Oh,
crap. Well, I read an awful lot growing up, and I am a pretty fast reader. I can read fairly quickly for comprehension. A little bit slower when I'm having to edit as well. The editing really slows me down, but want to do a good job with that so that the readers get the best books they can.
Yeah, and your early reader list. That what happens when you do a release? Hey, dude, that just baffles my mind. It's like you got boom, 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 boom. There's your reviews. You're hitting number one. It's like, holy shit, how the hell is he doing this? It's crazy to watch. I mean, and again, impressive.
Well, just try and get people involved. We're blessed with a lot of really good fans and readers that help out a lot because it's one of those things. Putting out a book, it definitely takes a village. It takes not just the author and publisher and even the artist and editor. You've got the early readers that keep us straight, like we already talked about, folks that are doing reviews, Even the folks that just read it and go, hey, did you know that it says this here? And sure does look like a typo. Why, yes, that's a typo. Let me fix that. So
and those
we,
little things like that, after the fact, they irk the crap out of you.
yeah. Well, and that's the goal by for having all the early readers, is to try and make sure that that your proofreading is good, that you've gotten as many of the typos out of it as you can. Certainly, we try very hard to put out a perfect book. I don't know that such a thing exists, but we try to get as close as we can. And anytime anybody sends me a typo, even once the book's out, I update it and upload a new copy to Amazon, so that what everybody's getting is always the best that I have.
Yeah, and well, as long as you got the time to do it, but it's not like it's anything to upload the new version. All right, done. Let it roll.
Yeah, it's just when you're doing both ebook and print, and and you have to do a couple different formats on it. It's not a chore, but it just takes time. And
Yep.
if you're putting out 60 books in a year, that's a lot.
Yeah.
CKP has over 200 books out.
Now, if I remember right, either on the factory floor or in your newsletter, you mentioned about Kindle Vella.
Uh-huh.
Are
Did
you
I
going to
mention?
press forward or not?
Uh, I I don't know. The book that I showed by Kevin Eikenberry and I, The Last Stand, that might be something that would work very well as a Kindle Vella. And for those that don't know what Kindle Vella is, that is kind of a serial way of publishing, where you publish a chapter, a week or something, um, and readers pay for each little piece. I don't know. I don't know how well that's going to work. I'd like to try it. Typically, when I try something new, I like to do it with my own stuff. That way, I'm not sacrificing one of my authors to, learn about something. I'd rather it was me.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It's got potential, but it's like, is there actually a
Yeah.
market there?
Funny story about Kindle Vella. I just uploaded one of my stories in the Theogony, and one of the keywords is Vela Gulf, because that's the ship that's in the series. And the book failed to load on Amazon. They said I had inaccurate keywords, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "You have inaccurate keywords. Uh, the fans won't get a good experience because of this." And I'm like, "What do you mean? I've used these same keywords on 8 different books. How can this not work?" And they finally came around to the one that was failing, and they didn't like Vela, because now they have Kindle Vella as their thing, and they're saying I'm trying to hone in on their Vela and get people to search and find my book. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I had that term first. If anything, you're taking it from me.
Yeah.
And I think that you should rename your Kindle Vella. So there. Um, they didn't reply to
their
that email.
algorithm's been a little screwy lately here too.
Yeah. They didn't reply to that email, and I don't expect they will, but I took Vela Gulf off of the keywords, and it loaded
Just so you
fine.
can get it on.
Yeah. But the ones that are already published, so I guess that means if people are searching Kindle Vella, maybe a couple of those will pop up still.
That's all good.
Yeah. So we'll see. But it was just like, what do you mean? Hey, that was my word first. And that's a real ship name. That's a U.S. Navy ship, the Vela Gulf.
Let's see. So this is LibertyCon. Anything later in the year coming up that you have plans for convention wise?
No. Huh? Well, I'll be doing 20 books, Vegas, for those people that are authors, and are going out there. Come see me there. but that's pretty much the only thing I really have left this year. Dragon Con, if it happens, I'll be at Dragon Con. They keep saying that it's happening. I haven't heard a whole lot recently, yay or nay. I hope it does happen. If so, I'll be there.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either way on Dragon Con yet.
I know they were saying yes, it's going to happen, and then I haven't heard anything recently. So
yeah,
hopefully no news is good news. If nothing else, no news is no news, and we'll find out here shortly. And if it's on, I'm there.
I can't think of any other questions.
All right, then I think we're good. I have told everyone what's coming, and it's lots of good stuff. The art just keeps getting better. The stories just keep getting better. I couldn't be any happier with where CKP is going. The authors that I have writing for CKP are awesome, including yourself. You've written some great stories for us. So
yeah, I got to get Dogs of War out to you next. I'm behind on that because life, but
yeah, well, I mean, anymore, you just life has taken some strange turns here the last year and a half, and things that you thought would be easy have gotten hard, and some things that should have been hard have gotten easy, and it's just kind of readjusting to what's easy and hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to adapt and overcome.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
right.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate it. Go buy a book.